Okay there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Lasciatemi morire by Monteverdi. This is from the 24 Italian aria book. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent, and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and other non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You'll see some links to my various websites, my Facebook fan page. If you have a moment, please give me a visit and a like. Also, there's a link to the Italian pronunciation dictionary on the RAI site, R-A-I. You may follow the link below or type into any search engine, D-O-P-R-A-I, and the site should come up. At the site, you can type in any Italian word and hear it with a playback button. You can hear it spoken by a native Italian speaker. It also shows all of the non-phonetic Italian. That's what I love about it. It acknowledges the existence of these non-phonetic things, such as phrasal doubling, assimilation, and the open E's and O's. The other thing is you'll see a complete line of text written out with those phrasal doublings and assimilations. I highly recommend it. Hope you have time to check it out. Also, in the description below, you can follow along on this video. I've written out the text of Lasciatemi morire with all of the non-phonetic things written out. So it assumes you have a basic knowledge of Italian already. All I'm doing is going to mark the things that are not phonetic, such as the open and closed E's and the phrasal doublings and the assimilation. So if you're new to assimilation, you'll have a taste of it at the end of this video, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we will start first of all by just reading the whole text, and then I'll break it down word by word, and we can go over a lot of the common mistakes I've heard in auditions or in coachings or performance. Okay, so here we go. I'll read the whole text first. Lasciatemi morire, e che volete che mi coŋfɔrte in così ddura sɔrte, in così ggraň martire. Lasciatemi morire. So it's very short and sweet. So let's go through it word by word. Okay, so lasciatemi comes from the infinitive lasciare, to let or to allow somebody. The first thing, it has the SCI combination, which makes a sh sound. And the way Italians do that, that's different than an English speaker, is when we speak in English, we would, as an English speaker, we would say lasciatemi with the sh early and actually on the first syllable. An Italian won't do that. An Italian will put it completely on the second syllable. So I'll demonstrate. So if we took what we said and we did it in slow motion, right? The correct way would be la sha. So when it's fast, it's lasciatemi, lasciatemi. So the sh is completely on the second syllable. Okay? If I do it wrong, lasciatemi, the sh is on the first syllable. So if I slowed it down, which is what happens when you sing, you end up with la sh with that, where you cannot phonate. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. So if you say you have three notes, the first note is completely la sha. Second note is completely has the sh on it. Okay, so the E in this case is, in this word, is a closed E. Okay, so closed versus open E. E comes in two forms, right? So closed E is like a and hey, and open E is like a and head. And I believe there's not one open E in this whole aria. So if you were to see an open E, it would be with a rounded edge IPA symbol. So in this case, all of the E's in this aria are A. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between Italian A and English A. So when we say a vowel in English, our jaw will move very slightly, and it's called a glide, right? So if I said hey, my jaw would slowly close to an E, right? And then if I said had, open E, my jaw would slowly close to an I vowel. Had. In Italian, that doesn't happen. The vowel remains pure, so which means that your jaw remains, even though you're relaxed, your jaw remains in the same position of the vowel. And nothing allows it to harmonize or yield to something else. There's no yielding of a vowel, right? And that's what we mean when we say it's a pure vowel. So it would be A, right? Not A with the motion of the jaw, right? So you can do this word in slow motion and think about just the vowels. So if we just take the vowels in lasciatemi, it's A, E, right? So here's the other danger in this word. In English, when we have two A's or three A's in a word, we will neutralize. So America, right? And a Romance language speaking person would say America. All those A's would be equal. So you have to make sure that all of the A's are equal in this word. So to the A's. E. Lasciatemi. So when we add the consonants, we still have the feeling of the vowels. Okay? So the next is morire. Morire. So we have a closed O and a closed E. Now, if you notice later on in this aria, we do have open O's, and the difference between open O and closed O is this. Closed O makes an O sound, as in oats, right? And an open O makes an AW sound, like saw or for, right? So aw, that's the open O. The open O, we show that with the eye symbol. That's a broken circle. And then closed O looks just like everyday O, right? So it's the O you see every day in typeset. So in this case, it's morire O, right? And again, the vowel does not harmonize. So the R's in this case are all surrounded by vowels. So let's go over the rule for when you roll R and when you don't roll R. When an R touches a consonant, it rolls. So if you look down to the second to last line, you have two rolled R's. The word ggraň, right? So the R rolls, and it touches a G, touches a consonant on either side. And then look at the next word, martire. So you have two forms of the R. Now the second R in martire is a flipped R, and the reason for that is it's surrounded by vowels. So R's that are surrounded by vowels are flipped. It's just a single trill of the R, right? And one that touches a consonant is rolled. Now, there's another big difference between an R in Italian and one that is in English. That R is down here, right? Car, far. And an Italian R is just this. Gran, it's there. It actually trills, and you have the vowel phonating through the R, right? So I see a lot of people rolling R's beautifully, but then starting from the American R position. So they'll do something like gran, where the R has to move up into the palate. Gran, or down there. Gran. There's no in the R when you roll it. Okay, so that's a lot you need to know about R. Okay, so we have morire. The next word is A. It's the word for and. It is a closed E. And what we have here is what's called a phrasal doubling. The reason for that is that the word A is a monosyllable that is strong. Now, there are strong and weak monosyllables in Italian, and you have to memorize them. So not only is the word a strong monosyllable, but the next word, cche, is a strong monosyllable. So either one of those can cause the next word to start, if it starts with a consonant, to double. So notice that I've written it out both ways. So the first way is a volete. So how do I make that double K sound that I've written out, which happens because of the word a, which is a strong monosyllable that causes that to happen. So che volete. How did I do the double K? Did I do two Ks? Well, what I did was I had a long A vowel. I went up to the K and I did not say it, and there was a space, there was a stop in phonation, and then I said the K, right? So I'll do it in slow motion. Go up to the K, don't say it. K. And that makes a double CH, right? Che volete. And these are all very subtle, because if you do it too much, then it causes it gives itself attention. If you don't do it enough, it doesn't sound rhythmic enough. Okay? So, why did I offer two variations? Well, if I were speaking and I were really excited, I could double both, right? I could say che volete, right? Now, in singing, that's too much. There's a difference between lyric Italian and spoken Italian. So in the tradition with careful Italian singers is to pick one or the other, right? So I could say che volete, double V, or che volete, right? Now, if I'm singing and I say che vo, see, it's too much. It becomes heavy, and heavy things are not good, right? There's too many impulses, and it affects the music negatively. So we want to pick one or the other. So those are two strong monosyllables. And if you notice again later in the line, K doubles the M, and that's dangerous because too much M and it'll sound too much. It'll sound heavy or vulgar, right? So you don't want to get stuck going che mi, no, che mi, just a little bit. See, just a little. Che mi coŋfɔrte. Okay, so let's go back because I got a little bit ahead because, you know, as we're tying everything together, there's a lot of background to be given. So, CHE is K, hard C sound, right? Hard K sound, right? And it's a closed E. Now, volete is a closed E and a single T. So we talked about double K. We haven't talked about double T versus single T. So the mistake I hear in this word is that people tend to open the E and also double the T or double the L, right? And we'll discuss on how to do these so that you have the power to double or not double according to what's right, right? So I hear people making as many mistakes doubling things that are not doubled as they do leaving out the double consonants that are there. So that you realize that there are extra mistakes that you can make in Italian. So let's go through all the mistakes in this word. So I could double the L. How do I double an L, first of all? I double an L by holding the L in phonation. Thus, that's a double L. So if I were to say volete, that's a double L and it's incorrect in this word. So how do I make a single L? Well, it's just a single impulse of the tip of the tongue making the L. Volete versus volete, double T and double L. See? So how do I make a double T? Volete. So the stop in the phonation, going up to the T and not saying it, makes the double T, which is also incorrect in this word, you see? So volete, incorrect, volete. So now, how do we prove it from the other side? Let's prove it from the vowel side of things. So single consonants, to prove it from the vowels, is you just isolate the vowels, right? So first of all, do it separate. O, A. So now we know our vowels are pure. But I have a glottal in before every vowel. So we're not going to do that when we sing. Because we sing, they're going to be linked. But why did I do that? Because I don't want to harmonize vowels. I don't want to do as in English, where the danger would be O, A, where I chew my jaw, right? So separating O, A. Three pure vowels. So now let's connect. O, A, right? So I thought of two A's, even though, you know, when you don't have a glottal, you can only do one, right? So now, that feeling, let's memorize that feeling. O, A, right? right? Very legato and very smooth. So now, when we put the consonants back in, it should feel exactly the same. Volete, which comes up to another point. When an Italian speaker gets expressive, they emphasize the vowels. The vowels get longer. When an English speaker gets expressive, we emphasize the consonants, right? So, as an English speaker, we'd go, cche volete, right? We would do that. And an Italian would say, cche volete, right? So the vowels would get longer, you see. So that's the other thing you should remember when you want to add impulse to your drama, to your music. In Italian, you go for the vowels, right? I'm not downplaying the consonants. The consonants are very sharp. It's just split-second timing, and the vowels are long. Okay, going on. We've already had K. Mi is me, and this is a weak monosyllable, so it does not double. So there's only one C. So now look at the next word, and I've written out an IPA symbol for the N that you see, and we have our first assimilation. You heard me say that in the introduction. Okay, so N will change depending on what it precedes. So N will harmonize to another consonant. So that's very interesting. So as the vowels do not harmonize, N's harmonize. Well, what am I talking about? Let's demonstrate. So I'm going to say coŋfɔrte. Okay? So what just happened there? Watch my bottom lip as I say the N. Coŋfɔrte. So now let's break it down even further. I'm going to say a fricative, what is known as a fricative, F's and V's. A fricative is where your bottom lip touches your top teeth to make the consonant, right? So, forte. See, the position of my bottom lip. Forte. Now, the N will go right on the bottom lip and assimilate into the F. When an Italian is speaking quickly, the Italian doesn't even realize that he or she is doing this. Coŋfɔrte. Now, I'm exaggerating it. I'm holding it a little too long, so it's a little overdone, and it sounds a little not right? But I'm just showing you the position. So I'll do it really in slow motion, so this is going to be really wrong. You couldn't sing it this way, but just to show you the position, coŋfɔrte. So you see what happened? The N went there. Now, when I say it fast, coŋfɔrte, you see you don't even notice it, right? And that's the way to successfully execute this assimilation, is that your listener just hears legato and is not aware that you're doing any kind of trick there, right? So let's do the other way, because we'll be very Socratic. We'll try to prove all of the things that are not truth so that we come to the truth, right? So what if I were going to do a normal N and then do the F, right? Could I sing legato on long notes doing this? Well, most people cannot, right? And here's the reason, right? You're going to sing coŋfɔrte. What happened, right? Coŋfɔrte. So the tip of my tongue makes the N. Now, my vocal cords have to keep phonating for legato, but I have to come out and make an F, right? So I have to release my tongue from the roof of my mouth. Now, my vocal cords are screaming legato, keep singing legato. So now I have a vowel there, right? That's the shadow vowel, right? Coŋfɔrte. Now, a lot of fine singers do it this way, but it's just, you're going to lose your legato for just that split second, right? And it's not going to be as elegant as coŋfɔrte, which most Italian speakers will just say immediately. Okay, so that's one assimilation. There'll be another assimilation coming up in this aria later, but let's forge ahead. So now, in così ddura sɔrte, right? So ddura has a single R. It also has a double D, and the reason is that così ends on the last syllable. So lots of words that end on the last syllable will cause a phrasal doubling. Now, let's talk about stress in Italian. The normal stress, the most common stress, is on the second to last syllable, right? So a lot of words follow that pattern. Volete, right? when you have multi-syllable words. Morire, you see it's on the second to last syllable. But there are words that break that, like lasciatemi, that's the antepenultimate, the second to last syllable. And then you have ones that are either truncated, that were on the proper stress and became truncated, or just end on the last syllable, right? So that's the ultimate stress, like così. So anything that's on the ultimate stress will usually cause a phrasal doubling just by the nature of it, right? Così ddura. You see, so I doubled the D. And I'm exaggerating. It's way less than that, right? Così ddura sɔrte. See, it was there, but it was just a little bit, right? And that's what you want to work for, is that it's very natural and you're not even thinking about it, right? When you do it. So ddura, again, follows the R rule where the R is surrounded by vowels, so it's a single flip. Now, sɔrte, see, there's an open A, and then there's a rolled R because it touches the T, and then a closed D. Okay, so here are the rules about open and closed E. There's good news and bad news. The first thing is that everything that is on the non-stress of the word, right? Anything that's not an unaccented syllable will be a closed E or O, right? So all things on the unstressed are closed. So A or O. So look at this word. The stress is on the O, right? Sɔrte, right? The te is unaccented. We know that 100% of those will be closed. And if you look through this whole aria, you'll see that all the unstressed are closed. Now, your teachers may have you sing them more towards open, but as a listener, we still have to hear them as more closed than the stressed vowel. Okay, does that make sense? And that's why you will see them open in a lot of diction books, because it's understood. We know that they're all closed in speech. Okay, so now the stressed vowels, here's the bad news. The stressed vowels can either be open or closed. So if you notice in this aria, you see volete, you have a stress and a closed D, right? But then you have coŋfɔrte, you have a stressed and an open O, right? I don't see any other multi-syllable words. Well, you know, morire is unstressed, right? But so as you, in your travels, in your studies, as you look through your arias, you'll notice that you have to memorize the stressed vowels. That is the bad news, okay? So as you go through things, you'll memorize the stressed vowels. Okay, so let's go on. Oh, there was one more thing. We're going into very, very great detail. So the IN to the K, what happens to the N? Is it a single consonant or a double consonant? In così, it's actually a double consonant, isn't it? Again, this is a normal N made with the tip of the tongue, but because we're going to go k, k afterwards, the N goes up to that. In così, right? So it's with the middle of the tongue, in così, and it phonates, it gets held in phonation. So a lot of N's before a consonant that don't assimilate will get doubled, okay? So in this case, it's in così. You see what I'm talking about? All right. Now, here we have yet another N, right? So in your music, it's written out G-R-A-N, ggraň. Now, we're going to go into an M, right? So, martire. So to say an M, what happens? Instead of the lip touching the top teeth, our lips come together, right? Martire. So watch what happens when we put these two together. We get martire. So what happened to the N? It just became part of the M, right? It's on both lips. Martire. And Italians do this all the time when they speak. And again, if I were to put the N in my mouth, I could do that, right? A lot of fine singers do it this way. Martire. So, but what happened? I have a shadow vowel. Same as before. So this is another N assimilation. So it becomes one word. Martire. You see that? Okay. So we know the rule for R. The R touches the T. The other R is surrounded by vowels. So we have two different R's in this word martire. And then lasciatemi morire, right? So the same as the first line. So to finish up, let's read the whole text. So here we go. Very, very legato, very, very smooth. Lasciatemi morire. E che volete che mi coŋfɔrte in così dura sorte, in così gran martire. Lasciatemi morire. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. And as always, don't forget to see your coach, and we will see you at the opera. Thank you for visiting and watching.